Oh, hi. Pool Boy here, and welcome to the Glitton Things podcast with two beautiful women. Just sit down and talk about everyday topics, politics, sports, social issues, anything that comes to mind, really. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Oh, did I mention they're lesbian? I knew you'd like that.
Still so funny.
That song gets stuck in my head every time I hear it.
I know.
So good.
Oh my God, such a good week, right?
Yeah.
Like I've enjoyed all of it. Hosting the Seven podcast for the first time. Like
Yeah, how'd that
not
feel?
while he was away, but just hosting the Seven podcast for the
Our
first time.
First official show.
Yeah, it was cool.
On the Seven podcast platform. How's it feel?
It was cool. It was nerve-wracking. Like I was definitely I couldn't have that was probably the most nervous that I've been on
Other
his
than
show.
the very first time.
Yeah.
So would you say that you were more nervous the first time that we ever hosted, or were you more nervous the first time you ever went on the show with him?
I think
way back when you first went on the first time.
No, you know what? The first time that I was on his show was probably like one of the most difficult things for me to talk about, but I wasn't nervous with him. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
that's interesting though.
talking about it, like everything that I've ever gone through, like talking about it to him was not nerve-wracking at
Mhm.
all.
Mm-hmm.
But the first time I ever hosted his show, and then this first time having a show on his channel, that was nerve-wracking. Yeah, for sure.
Why do you think it was so nerve-wracking for you?
It's your thing. It's something that you want to do it. You want to, talk to people, have fun, and it is always a good time on his show.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like his chat is so like they're so great,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's so much fun.
That PK.
Hey PK, what's up, dude? So yeah, like but it is nerve-wracking when you first start, and that's cool, right? Like you get to meet new people, talk to new people, new ideas, new opinions.
And also the topics that we talk about too. Like
Yeah.
it's always funny because we, you kind of have a couple ideas of, what you want to talk about, or reels we've seen, or hey, have you seen this in the news, and whatever. And then also I think the most interesting part about doing a podcast that you and I have realized is we can start talking about something and only think we're gonna talk about it for like 5 minutes or something like that. But then
Yeah.
the chat engages so much that it takes the conversation.
Hey Heidi, what's up?
Hey, majority of the time, and we get to really see the loops of the conversation, the hills, the dives, the all different directions and whatever. So I think it's cool that we can do that.
It's interesting doing this, right? And it's tough, dude. Like I mean, not tough in a way, but it can mess with you mentally, right? There's that happens, and you don't want to take anything personally.
Yeah.
Like I love the chat. I don't take anything personally in the chat. You want to mess with me, like go ahead. It's cool. I have a good time. I might misunderstand some things because sometimes things written in the chat doesn't, you know what I mean? Like you're not getting the sarcasm, right? Or you're not getting the nuance to what the chat is saying.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a good time.
And it takes time, because I think back of when we first started, and when we had what's up, Hiller?
What's up, Hiller? Yeah, that's fine. You mess with me. It's cool. I like it. It's fine.
When we first started doing lives, and we had, Papa Birch and
everybody. Heidi was in here. Kenneth was in here. PK was one of our first interviews ever.
Guests that we had.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like in the beginning, where you have people that knew you from Sevons.
Yeah.
So they all kind of knew you, even if they only saw you the one time. I didn't know anybody. So
Yeah.
it was very interesting for me to look and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
like people are talking
It's
to
cool.
us.
It's fun, right?
And you were like, yeah, but I kind of know these people.
And they're
You know them
yeah.
because you, even if you don't even if you don't message in the chat, you still know majority of the personalities in the chat. Whereas I didn't. So this was so new for me to be like, oh, who's PK? Who's Heidi? You know what I mean? Like, who are all these people? Who's
Yeah.
Papa Birch? And then you have the people that have like supported us from the beginning, but then you have those first couple people that, not that are nasty to you, but like disagree with you or have a difference of opinion. And you're like, oh shit, how do I respond to this? You know? So I think that doing it for so long, what's up, Mike? I think doing this for as long as we've been doing it, it's been interesting to see like how we've navigated everything.
My personal feeling is like when you're figuring this out, right? You're figuring out how to do this. You're figuring out, especially live. You know what I mean? If you
Mhm.
don't do live, you can just throw a video up and no one sees it, or people comment and you don't have to respond to the comments. You're not going to see the comments. You're not going to pull the comments up. To not want to have somebody disagree with you, like that's the problem now. You want someone to disagree with you. You want to have the conversation. Hey, Dance, what's up? Hey, what's up, girl? Heidi, to be fair, you are very mean, PK. Like it's
Dens, by the way, I just need to give you shout out your videos today.
yeah, fire, girl.
Yeah.
Fire. I know I didn't get to respond on IG, but yeah.
I love your confidence. I just love how you're like, listen, let me tell you how this is and how this goes. Like the past couple days, I have really
It's been fun.
enjoyed your stories. So just want to give you a little shout out.
But yeah, to not want to engage in having a conversation with someone that you don't understand is like, why not? Why not? And even if you engage and you have a conversation and you don't understand and that person doesn't understand, then like whatever, then it is what it is. Like it's cool, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No big deal. I don't know. It's yeah. I'm cool with it. I like it. I enjoy it. But sometimes doing it for the one thing I learned from Savon, right? And even Hiller, like you can throw Hiller into this. They started doing shows and they did shows every single day.
Yeah, and Hiller's mean. You don't know that? He's just mean.
Hiller's mean.
He's just mean. As everybody says.
Oh. But they've been doing shows like every single.
No, not yet, Dens. We haven't seen, or have you seen Around the Whiteboard?
Oh no,
I haven't seen it. We're gonna watch it after this.
Okay, yeah.
That's my once the baby goes to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, babe. Go ahead.
Like we weren't cut out for that, right? Like we're not doing shows every day. I can't do a show every fucking day.
Apologies.
Bully. Oh, my bad. Bully. Not mean. He's not mean. He's not. No. Okay. But it's not something that you can do every day. Like for most people, right? There's a set group of people that they're built for that. They can do that every day. We are not those people. And that's cool. Like we want to be on when we can be on. And you kind of figure it out over time. And I hope pool boy did mention that they're lesbian. I knew you'd like that. That's kind of the best. It's fun. And the music.
Oh my god, it just gets stuck in my head. Beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Jake, what's up, dude? But yeah, it's not, everybody's not built for a live show set at the same time every day.
It's a lot.
But
it's a lot. And I mean, I remember going through the roller coaster of emotions and feelings and stuff like that. And I always go back, and I'm sure I've said it before. The one person that helped me the most navigating people on the podcast, no matter who it is, was Bill Grundler. So the first time we had Bill Grundler on, we fangirled so much in
Yeah, it was
every
bad.
person that we had on the podcast before his very first live with us. And we said hello as we always did before we went live, and you did your introduction, and then we all kind of just sat there.
Yeah.
And I started smiling, and you started smiling, and then he started laughing, and then he's like, "You're in it. Like, you can't be fangirling anymore. Like, we're like, you're in it. You're part of the group. You're part of the converse. Like, we're here. There's no reason to be fangirling and whatever." And for me, that just helped me see them as people. I'm not saying that I'm still not a fan of them. Like, I'm still a fan of all of them. Even Sevon. I can say that now.
I did it. I did the impossible. I'm so proud of myself right now.
But it reminded me that they're people. And so I know when we met them all in person, it was still like, holy shit, we're meeting them. But I was able to not feel so overwhelmed with, holy crap, we're meeting everybody. You know?
So a little bit, I want to talk about the podcast that Sevon put out today, right? It was Greg Glassman's Weekend Review, and it was awesome. Love watching Greg always.
PK, were you surprised how much shorter Hiller is in person? Yes, I was. But I also in defense,
Hiller's not short.
But in defense, I think that I don't think people expected me to be as tall. I think they expect Garrett to be tall, but they don't expect me to be as tall as I am. So I was surprised that Hiller was.
You're not short,
shorter.
Hiller. I was not surprised. My wife, go ahead, get my wife. I get her. It's not me. I was not surprised. I did not think.
Oh wait, Hiller, are we actually the same height?
Are you 5'11"? Colleen's 5'11". I'm 6 feet. So.
Yeah, no, Hiller is shorter than me. That's for yeah.
Okay. Oh no. No, I don't want no smoke. I'm out.
No, please.
No.
Oh, please. We're here. We are part of the smoke.
I don't want no smoke from Hiller.
5'9". Yep.
No,
okay.
5'9". Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're no. Cool. But yeah.
But we were surprised that Bill Grundler was as tall as he is.
Yo.
We were surprised that he was as tall.
I did think he was going to be like Sevon.
I didn't think he was going to be that short, because we're being told that when we meet Sev, like, we're not.
I don't know.
We're not sure how short he's going to really be.
I was shocked as shit at how tall Bill Grundler was. I really was.
Yeah.
And he knows that. I said it to him.
Yep.
So, but
we were like, wait, we can like stand.
Yeah, it was cool. It was fine. No, the podcast today with Sevon, and like I said, I love watching Greg Glassman. I watched the whole thing or whatever, but when they get to the end and it's, they're kind of talking about whatever. They're kind of talking about Brian. Like, it's sad in a way, but I understand it in the other way. Right? Like it I feel like they really want to be like, hey, dude, we cared about you. And because that's the feeling I get from all of them, right? Like, they do care about us.
Mm-hmm.
And they always have. Like, Sevon has always cared about me. Like, and even the whatever, there was something put out there about how, like, Sevon should put on the Glintons. Chris said it and we'll talk about Chris, and I will talk to Chris, but like, how Sevon should put us on, he did, dude. Like, he did. There's nothing like what Sevon does and what the crew does and how they help and how they like whatever. They just do.
Mm-hmm. They
always help. There's never been a part of any of this where they haven't helped. And it's so like, it's just, but I don't know what else to say about that. But like, yeah, Brian made his bed. Sure. Fine. Okay. Like, I can attest to Sevon's generosity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian made his bed. yeah, like it sucks because you don't want to see a friend like that, like kind of, you know, I don't know. But I'm super I'm super grateful.
Yeah.
I appreciate everybody that's ever been there for us. Like Jake's been there for us. Heidi, you've been there for us. Mike, Hillary, like all of you guys have been there through PK. But you've been there through us for us the entire time, and it's amazing. And so like that just hurt because you don't want to see a friend like, you know, what he said about I lost all my friends. I get it. Also, you know,
Yeah, and I think that there's different layers to that, you know what I mean? And obviously we're
Heidi's
hearing
never there for me.
um yeah.
I don't know. That's it. That's all I had to say about it. I have nothing else to say about anything else. It's you you just
It's like you want to see everybody succeed,
yeah.
but at the same time, you know that there's going to be like
Yeah, the end. That's it. Yeah,
shit,
that's
you
it.
know? So,
That's it. That's all.
oh, and
Otherwise,
it's I'm sure it's not done. I'm sure there will be more
it
shit.
was just it was zesty today. It was.
But again, too, there comes a point where you need to, you know, some people just feel like you get to a point where it's just time to say something.
I felt bad for both.
You know what I mean?
Like that's all.
So if
I felt bad. I felt bad for all of them. Like I even like to put them in that situation. Andrew Hiller, Brian tried to tell me what to do when I didn't ask, and I'm happy as a pig in shit daily. That was it for me. Okay. Yeah. No, I get it. I feel like it
I feel like if you, again, we talk about this too. We are coming onto a podcast on a platform that is on the internet, that is live, that is available for anybody and anybody to watch it, clip it, share it, critique it, criticize it, and whatever. If you put something out there on the internet, you're inviting people into your space. You're inviting people to have opinions about what you say. So to put something out on the internet and then turn around and say, why are people having opinions or saying things about me or critiquing me or whatever about the very thing that you put on the internet, for me is always the interesting part for me.
yeah,
Because
you're
you're
putting it out there for people to judge it, for people to talk about it, for people
we
to
put stuff on the internet
Yeah.
for responses.
it's never going away.
Like that's just what it is. So to pretend like every time that we put a podcast up, we always after we're like, oh shit, did I say anything that might whatever?
And it's like
But it's possible.
yeah, it is.
It's possible that someone could take something that we say out of context. It could be
And we have to suck it up.
someone takes, you know, I talk for 20 minutes, they take the 5 minutes in the middle that sound really bad, but don't get the complete context of what I'm saying.
Or I just
That's part of being on the internet. Like
or I
that's
just say 20 minutes worth of bullshit and people call me out for the 20 minutes worth of bullshit. That's fine. Either way, like it's all like, but you have to be okay with that. And that's what it is. And it's a very you want everybody wants their podcast or their Instagram or whatever to grow. PK, anything you post publicly on the internet isn't something that can be classified as being leaked. Yeah.
Preach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Preach.
Nope. It wasn't leaked.
Nope.
We did it. We came on here to chit chat, and whatever we say is fair game.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
again, don't want to offend Hiller. You know what I mean? But if we do, and he clips something from
Hiller,
us,
wait,
does Hiller get offended?
yeah,
No, I
Hiller-
don't think Hiller gets
Hiller, do
offended.
you get offended?
I don't think so.
Do you ever get offended?
I think he just calls shit out. I think it's fine.
I mean, he did say he's happy as a pig in shit daily.
Yeah,
So I mean,
right. He's fine. His life is fine. It's cool. But Yeah, PK, Hillary loses no sleep. Yeah, for
I
sure.
believe
Yeah,
that.
I believe that too.
Dense. I think that most of us are good about taking things out of context too. We just say how we interpret those words. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What if do you I'd be curious. Oh man, see, you're not even on the show. I'd be curious if like if you see a clip, do you go back and look to because now if I just see a clip, now I'll go look back and find the whole like long form if I can. And
Did you
then
say long form?
oh, pause. Am I supposed to say pause? Everything is content. Yeah. Okay. Sure. All right. Fine. So even a clip, it's cool. No, I just I let I didn't I didn't dislike anything that was in the Rich Froning podcast. I saw a lot of things. I heard a lot of things. I also agree like, hey dude, it's you have to figure out who's I I don't know. You and I both know a lot of things about addicts, right?
Mhm.
And so, yeah, PK said something I think back about manipulation and whatever, and that's what addicts are good at. And it's making everything about how like, hey, it's not my fault I'm an addict, or it's not my fault that like this is just what it is. This is what the world did to me. This is why I'm an addict. Whatever, whatever. And they do that in every other way, shape, or form. My mother was a complete like that's how she went. I wish it wasn't that way, but it was. And so I I get it and I see where he just keeps saying I. And like any therapist, they'll probably tell you, like, say, this is how I feel about this. This is how I feel about that. So
Do you think that that conversation was more about having a public conversation, or do you think that it was a conversation that was actually meant to, I don't know, bring some answers, some clarity, some and really make like a difference?
say that again. My brain went somewhere else.
So
Sorry.
do you feel like it was more important for them to just have the conversation publicly? Or do you feel like it would
I
have been
think
more beneficial to have a private conversation and actually
No, I think Rich really wanted to know. Like,
Mhm.
if you want my full blown opinion, which whatever, I think Rich was really trying to understand where Brian was coming from, and I just think that Brian was not trying to understand where Rich was coming from.
Mhm.
That's my complete opinion on it.
Mhm.
I don't think it was a bad podcast. But I just think that yeah, I don't think that Brian was coming to try or was trying to come to any common ground, and I think Rich was. And I think that that's why Rich didn't push back as much as he did because he could have. I mean, you saw his face.
Mhm.
But I just think Brian wanted to be heard and Rich wanted to listen, but also wanted to be heard, and Rich didn't get heard.
Mm.
So wait, there was one here. Yeah, PK, I agree with this completely. The worst is when someone says hurt people as though it's a hall pass to be a shady person. Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that.
Yep.
Like if you're hurt as a kid or what that whole thing where like, oh, they were hurt as a child, so they're allowed to hurt other people. Like, no, you're not.
Mhm.
It was bad. That shouldn't have happened to you. And also you shouldn't do it to anybody else. Like, yeah, that's crap.
Yeah, it's also yeah, Megan, agree. I feel like Rich wanted to say so much more. Yeah, that's why I was asking. Like, was it with everything going on and because everything was so public, like was anything actually clarified?
No.
I don't think it was. So that's why I asked, was it more about the public
But
appearance,
that's what
or was it actually about having a real honest like conversation about the way that people actually feel.
I don't
And I'm
think-
not saying that everybody can do that. I think that there's a way that you can, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know, you have your few people, and we say it all the time. Like, if I have feelings about something, I'm gonna have the most honest, no filtered conversation with you first.
But that's what you want to do though, right? Like when you have like, so we've tried to have people on the podcast that disagree with us all the time, and they don't want to, because they've literally just seen who we've talked to, right? Like we've talked to Jana, we've talked to Sevon, we've talked to, and they're just like, no, we don't want to come. And fine, that's okay. I totally get it. They don't want to come on Glinton Things because they don't agree with the people that we talk to. I
Hang
get
out with,
that.
yeah.
No problem.
Yep.
Nothing. But if you're gonna talk to someone like the way that I think Angelo and Rich were trying to talk to Brian, I think they wanted to make it a comfortable space for them to talk. And I probably would have done the same thing, right? You want him to talk. You want him to feel as comfortable as he can possibly feel comfortable so that he will talk. And I think they try to do that, but I think they've known each other long enough that they didn't have to do that. I think they could have, or maybe they could, or maybe it's hard. It's hard. It mirrors talking about politics, right? Like they're talking
Mhm.
about, let's all be honest. The WFP is literally Kamala Harris and CrossFit is Trump, right? Like just fucking pull the Band-Aid off. That's what it's like. And to have a conversation like that with those two sides is fucking hard. And I'm sure Rich was trying to make it as comfortable as possible. I'm sure that Brian was trying to be as not
Confrontational.
as possible. And that's what happened. Because it is. We are so divided. It's not, we're so divided in everything.
Yeah.
We're so divided in CrossFit. We're so divided in politics. We're so divided in the LGBT. Like we're divided in everything. Black, white, left, right, like whatever. We're divided. And it's,
Yeah. And again, that just goes back to my question. Like, was it more, and well, I guess I'll say, like, was it more of a publicity stunt than an actual conversation?
I don't think so. I
mean,
for
because
who though? Like who would you say
like it just kind of felt like they came together because it was like the thing that they were supposed to do. You know, Brian put his video out. Rich made the funny comment about, you know, say my name. And I still think that we should get a shirt that says
say my name. No, that's fire.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ouch, that really hurt. But to not allow a like it didn't feel like a conversation. It felt like
no one pushed back. Yeah, and Kippen, I get that, dude. But how do you navigate these types of conversations that are so hard? Do you want to have the hard? How would you have pushed back? You know what I mean? How would you have felt that? Like,
I just think it would be an honest conversation, like just being able to say things.
But do you want that person to come back again? Because that's the other thing. If you want that person to come back again, then
yes, to have a conversation, because if you're going to talk about, like, just talk about the video. Like, hey, we're here to talk about this. Start there, and then allow the rest of the conversation to evolve the way that it's going to evolve. But like the controversy, you know, is the same way that when Rich and Dave were having beef together. I said that wrong. That didn't sound good.
That did not sound good. That sounded like a pause moment, but it's okay.
Sound good. Sorry. Fuck.
Good. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
When there was this feud that was going on with them, they sat down and had a conversation, but they talked about the actual topic. Why not start the conversation with, I put out this video because I felt like everything that he said in his video. I put out this video because I felt like it was important. If we're going to criticize one side, we need to criticize the other side
and that's fair.
and
Yes.
whatever. And then start the conversation from there, and then allow that to go on for as long as possible, and then bring up the fact that the WFP, and they've always wanted to talk about it and blah 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 blah. But Cole,
Stop looking at O'Cole. Just stop looking at O'Cole. We'll get to him later. We'll get to that later. Stop looking at him.
But it just
Stop.
I'm looking at our kid. Our
Oh,
kid is
okay.
yelling.
What do you?
He thinks. Okay, I'm completely
Yeah,
flustered.
go
Hold
ahead.
on.
It felt like Brian used them to try to convince the community he doesn't reach that Savon and those guys are that they are bad for, and WFP is good. Yeah, I get that. And that's fine. And we're doing it for WFP is getting shit on. Savon's now getting shit on. I'm sure that Brian did want to use that to just be like, hey, I lost my friends and feel bad for me and whatever. And
I told you we were coming over here.
what are you doing?
That's what I'm saying. There's
There's a
distracted.
small child. But to have to have a good faith conversation, right? That's what I wanted to say. If you want to have a good faith conversation, you have to trust the other person that you're doing it with. If I want to disagree with you, I can disagree with you in some things because I love you, I trust you, and I know that you're not going to hate me afterwards. If I want to have a good faith conversation with Ellie Hiller or Dents or Jake or Jan, or I can have a good faith conversation. I mean, there's a lot of people, but if I want, I can, because I trust that you're going to hear me and you're not going to hate me if I say something wrong. And then we're going to have a conversation and we're going to work it out.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're afraid to have a conversation with somebody because you're afraid that they're just going to be like, well, or it's going to be a Jubilee podcast, or it's going to be like a Destiny or whatever, where they're just going to be like, clip you and make you feel like shit for 18 days, then you don't want to have a good faith conversation.
Yeah, but I kind of go back to the whole thing. We're on the internet. We're all choosing to put our opinions on the internet. We're choosing to say how we feel.
No,
so when it comes to that conversation,
I'm talking about their podcast. I'm not talking about what gets clipped. I'm just talking about if they wanted to go on that podcast and have a good faith conversation.
I get that. I
I don't think it worked out that way.
I get what you're saying. But I think that, again, if the purpose of the podcast was to
small child, he's basically Savon sized.
if the purpose of the podcast and him coming down was to talk about the video, was to talk about the programming, was to talk about these things, and again, I have not listened to the whole thing, so if I'm wrong, please correct me. But if that is the point of this podcast, why was that not the main topic of said podcast? Why did Angelo not have any opportunity to speak about the programming and to defend himself or
because
say,
I don't think it was that, though. I really don't think it was that. I think they went on there to have a conversation and kind of do the politic back and forth. And I just don't think it worked out the way that they had wanted it to work out. I think they wanted to have that good faith conversation, and they didn't trust each other enough to have it. I would trust Pat Lang to have a good faith conversation. You know what I mean? I'd be like, we could have a conversation and it wouldn't be like we hate each other afterwards, or I'll never.
But I think that's the sad part about having conversations, is that people are going to leave feeling like that you hate somebody when it's just a conversation. If you were bold enough,
ask Milli Vanilli.
if you were bold enough to make a video about it, then
be bold enough.
Then be bold enough to stand behind said video, or like all of us do at one point in life, get the video pushed back in our face and be like, oh shit, you know what? I didn't think about it that way.
But what happens when we do this, right? There's always one person with the gigantic insecurity.
Mhm.
and who was the one that had the gigantic insecurity. And I'm not trying to be mean, and I'm not
I
trying to
don't I think you're I don't agree with that.
really. Okay.
I don't think that there was insecurity. I think that there was, because I kind of am going off of what, you know, agreeing with what PK said. He made it about Sevon instead of staying on topic.
But don't you think that's an insecurity? If you were confident in the topic that you were talking about, and and explaining the topic that you were talking about,
Okay.
then you wouldn't
All right.
have
I get what
an
you're saying.
insecurity to have to talk about Sevon to make your point.
Okay.
That
Okay. I
that's
get
my
what you're saying on
like,
that.
you know what I
So
mean?
so you're saying that there wasn't enough confidence in the topic to stay on topic.
Yeah, or the point that he really wanted to make was he missed his friends and he's sad and like whatever. Eh, and I know all you guys are gonna be like, he burned his bridges, he burned his bridges. Okay, fine, he burned his bridges, but that doesn't mean he doesn't miss his friends and is sad that he's not whatever. And I get it. Maybe like whatever you guys think is probably like but it is possible that he just misses his friends. You know what I'm saying? So whether he deserves to be where he's at and he deserves all that, I'm sure he probably in there, like obviously in Taylor's and Sevon's mind and everybody else's mind, he deserves to be where he's at. Uh, but also
Mhm.
too, it's yeah, okay. I'm not disputing that. I just it's possible that he does. Maybe he should have went to Dr. Phil instead. Fair. That's fair.
Yeah, it just, and again, this is all just from what we've seen. Like, you and I don't know any of them personally. Like,
Yeah, I agree with that, Okol. There he is. Okol, back. Brian just looked really nervous and squirrely, like he was in over his head and insecure. Yeah, I think he got what he wanted. He wanted to be on Mayhem, right? Like he wanted to talk to Rich. He wanted to do all the things, and he got it.
yeah, but I would,
Good on him.
yes, and I think that if you're given an opportunity to be on a platform as big and influential as Rich's,
Catch me outside. How about that?
as influential as Rich's podcast is, I if that was me, I would have spent all of my time talking about the very thing that I am so passionate about, which is, you know, for him, it's the WFP, it's expanding CrossFit, or not CrossFit, functional fitness, CrossFit, into other countries and everything like that. Like, I would have spent my time talking about that stuff. I would have talked to Rich about all of um his trips that he's taken overseas. Like, how has that been? What have you, like, what, like, I would have spent my time talking about that stuff instead of talking about something that I'm not saying is not a sore topic or something that's important for him to talk about. And if you wanted to touch upon it, fine. But I just think on a platform like that, it's like, why would you not use that reach to talk about the very thing that you are the most passionate about? And it just sounded like that's not what he used that opportunity for. So, okay, yeah, the spotlights were too bright, as Cole might say, but are you going to get an opportunity to go on that podcast again? Are you going to get an opportunity to have those eyes on you again? Are people going to listen to you again? You know what I'm saying? So if I was in his shoes, and again, this is just my own personal opinion, but if I was in his shoes, I would have used that moment for something
Yeah, but
with a bigger reach.
but you can't do that. He used his shoes the way that he used his shoes. Like like Bernie, do you think Brian is capable of ever saying he's sorry for some things he's done? Too prideful, maybe? Maybe. I think every person is capable of saying sorry for something. I think it's just a matter of if do you feel like you did something wrong. If you don't say sorry, it's because you don't feel like you did anything wrong. And if that's how he feels, then that's how he feels. And then Sevon and crew are entitled to feel however they feel about it. If they feel like they deserve an apology and they don't get one, then they do what they do.
Mhm.
If Brian doesn't say sorry and then he gets what he gets, then he gets what he gets. Like, that's just kind of how it works, right? I mean,
Mhm.
I don't
Mhm.
save on. Yeah. um but yeah, that's it. It was just super curious for me, for a lot of reasons. And I just, people make mistakes on the internet. um and yeah, sometimes it's too much. Also, like, great day for, like, Brian had his, like, coming out party on the Mayhem Classic. Taylor lost his virginity to the Mayhem Classic. Like, it was an amazing day. It was just an amazing fucking day. And just, yeah, I that was it really. Or unless we want Dens. Ken, for Brian having 22,000 followers on IG, he doesn't get many likes on his
Hi, Trish.
what's up? Oh yeah, Trish is in the house. Bernie's in the house, Trish is in the house, Ken's in the house. What's up? Rich is the most charismatic man in CrossFit, and Brian sucked all of the air out of the room. Okay. Yeah.
Always love having you here, Trish.
Rich is
What can I say?
definitely, yeah.
I'm just
I don't think it's a matter of
cool. That's true.
people make mistakes on the internet. Quote of the day for sure.
But I think that I think it
and
depends.
Heidi, this too. Also, too, it really doesn't. I don't think it matters saying sorry or not. At this point, I also,
But
or
that's
maybe it does make a difference. I don't know.
but that's the thing. Like, what's your like? Is it a mistake? What is a mistake?
Fair. Maybe it's not.
How many? Like, is it one mistake? Is it two mistakes? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and again, we've been following this for as long as everybody's been sharing the context. And again,
I only know what's on the internet.
getting right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We're only getting the small pieces of it. And what's that saying? Like, your truth, my truth, and the actual truth is somewhere in the
Right,
middle,
right.
because we all process things way different. You know what I mean? Like, if you and I go through a situation, your brain is gonna memorize differently and process things differently than mine are. And we literally went through the same door. You know what I mean? So, like, your truth, my truth, and then the actual truth is somewhere in the middle. And it doesn't look like they're mistakes. It doesn't come across that way. So when, like, is it a mistake? Is it not? Or is it on purpose?
Too much grace though. But see, that's what I'm trying to do, right? Like I'm not trying to give him I'm not trying to give him anything. I don't know him. I have no idea. I'm not going to attack him because everybody is different and everybody deals with shit in their own way. I'm not saying I'm not saying Sevon's wrong or any of them are wrong. I like I I just you try to understand. I guess I think I'm trying to understand the politics of this, because I feel like there's a lot of politics involved in this and in how politics are going in the country. And I think I'm just trying to understand that. I
Yeah, and our roads are not all the same. You know what I mean? Like, some people choose to get ahead certain ways
he
than
can't
other
handle
people.
the truth. Fair. I, I Olivia, are we really dealing with a normal person? Everyone is trying to understand him and why he did what he did to all the guys. He's just simply a narcissist. That's okay. But no, yeah, and that's fair. Like, no thanks on the friendship. Get it? Like, deuces. I, it was the same. I did that shit with my mom, right? Like, if you know anything about my story, it was just like, I love you. You're my mom. We can't talk because it's just
Mhm.
not good for us to talk.
Mhm.
I get it. I understand it.
Mm.
I just this yeah, I think from my vantage point, I'm trying to understand this more in like a political realm kind of thing, and kind of also a bit of a religious realm, right?
What do you
Like,
mean?
Just where, like, we've talked about this on many podcasts with many different people, and you know, do, like, you forgive them, but you just move on from them, kind of. Like, it's like, I forgive you, dude. No worries, but like, I can't be around you.
So kind
And
of
is that okay? Like, is that true forgiveness? Kind of is what I'm
mhm.
thinking of in my head.
Well, and kind of to, I guess, put all of Trisha's comments together, do you think that grace, that giving grace is actually like pulling the blinds down?
Is it?
You know what I mean? Did that make sense? Like
Yeah.
kind of
Like, forgetting that they didn't do
or
it.
putting the blinders up maybe.
Yeah. No, I don't think forgiveness is that's okay, babe. It's
Wait,
okay.
you put water, put it in the sink, spilled on the couch?
Oh, he tried to wash something and it didn't work out well for him.
Okay.
But
So
it's okay.
can you
It's
put
just
a
water.
towel on the couch
It's water,
and
kid.
not sit on it?
Okay. There you go.
Okay. Is it just water though, right? Okay.
Yeah.
He's gonna go
He
change.
tried really hard.
He's
though.
gonna go
It was-
change.
It
He
was
doesn't
good.
like
It was a good shot.
he doesn't like his clothes being wet. But does that make sense? Like, it's
I don't think you have to forget what happens. Uh, I I think that you can just be like, well, kind of defining what forgiveness is then, right? Like, am I just saying like, hey, I know what you did. I'm not mad at you for it anymore. Also, I just don't want to be around you anymore. Does that
yeah.
is that like
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of what I did with my mom. It's like, I'm not mad at you for it anymore. Like, I don't forget it, but I just don't want to be an apology is what is it? Hold on, Standy. Forgiveness is more than saying sorry. Okay. And then Duns followed up with an apology is change behavior. That's fair. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Yeah.
Have a snack.
I get that.
Cannot have.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Go
An
ahead.
actual snack.
Yes. And then go watch your sports. Boy
Um.
is needy tonight.
Yeah. I know. Right. That's fine. He didn't get to play as much. Where's Brock? Brock. Just because you forgive someone doesn't mean you have to be friends again. Yeah. I absolutely believe in that. That's yeah. Um. And oh. Okay. All right, yeah, I dealt with that a lot with my mom too. An apology would require an admission, and that's something that she never did,
Mm-hmm.
ever, not once. If anything, she pretty much just told me like I wasn't her kid, and my kid isn't my kid. So,
Yeah.
and I don't
But
know,
then wanting access
but
to
that-
both of you.
but yeah, right,
Or demanding access to both of you.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
fair. So,
Yep.
yeah, I get that, and yes, I would to define an apology. Yeah, or forgiveness. Does that go into forgiveness too? For forgiveness, do you require an admission? That's a good question. I would love to know anybody's thoughts on that. Mr. Jake Chapman, my pet peeve is watching people getting away with repeatedly awful behavior. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
You and I.
Yeah, you and my wife are on the same page. And I think me and Jan, but then it's how long do you help, right? Like that was a theme of Savon's podcast today. How long do you help? How long do you put yourself out there? How long do you want to, you know, see if you can do it before it's too much? Like I think Savon said it best is like, I just was good until I wasn't good anymore. And I think that
I think that's a good statement for most people. You accept until you just don't.
yeah. But I think that's different for everybody, right? Like I will do it longer than you will. Like I will try to help longer than you will.
Me personally?
Yeah.
It depends on the person.
Right.
I
Exactly.
think.
But that's the thing though, too, right? Like there's just people have different
I also think it depends on the person, and it depends on the behavior, and it depends on the repetitiveness, and it depends on
they might just need
like
to fight it out like the good old yeah, I miss that shit. I was having that conversation too the other day. It's just like you got in a fight at school, you just got in a fight at school. It was whatever. Yeah, like just whatever.
Mhm.
Kenneth, what's up, dude? I try to be like a Labrador, just let that shit roll off your back like a river,
That's
water.
interesting. It's interesting about that is this let this just let the shit roll off your back and whatever. As much as, or at least I've learned, and you guys can, have different opinions on this or whatever, but when I really got my shit together and I was working with a coach to process my trauma, process my childhood, process all that kind of stuff. For so long, I pretended like what happened to me didn't affect me anymore and didn't bother me anymore because it happened a long time ago, and it's back there. It doesn't bother me anymore. It's not a part of my life anymore. I've been through it. I figured it out and whatever by pushing it down and moving on from it. But it's still in our body, and it comes up in different ways. So it came up in insecurities that I had with being with you. Insecurities with sex and relationships and having a difficult time having relationships, not just romantic relationships, but just friendships and everything like that. Like it's still there. It's going to come up. It might not come up in the exact way that the trauma did, but it's going to come up in different ways. Or if you're holding on to it, it's stress. You know what I mean? It's pain, it's illness, it's all these type of things. So whenever I hear this, it's like, yeah, we can pretend that it's not there. We can pretend that we're over it. We can just let that shit roll. But I think that the only way to actually release it is to go through it. And so when things do bother you, when something does happen, it's like going through it first and then allowing it, not saying that it's not going to come up again. It still does, but I'm able to manage it and respond to it versus being reactive towards it. So that's my little spiel when it comes to that.
Jan, that's why an apology isn't always enough. As if they repeat that said behavior, then why even apologize? Yeah, I get that. If you're sorry about what you did, why do you keep doing the thing?
Exactly.
Like damn.
Fucking kid just.
But then, let's go. Let's get into Bernie Gannon. No, we can and should forgive without an apology. I'm not even gonna pretend like I know what that word is. Baby, you want to look it up?
Yeah.
Apologizing and atonement helps to heal an offender. A refusal to forgive only damages the aggrieved. I get the context. So, like, if I apologize and you forgive me, the forgiveness helps the person who's forgiving. But then I would also get annoyed because
Reluctant to speak freely,
okay,
uncommunicative, reserved.
an atonement helps to heal the offender.
Hesitant to speak openly. Yeah, someone might be like they won't talk about their past.
So the refusal to forgive only helps the offender? That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm open to it. I'm open to, like, so you're just saying forgive freely without that's what
Yeah, because don't they say that if forgiveness is more for us than it is for the person we're trying to forgive?
yeah, I
Or
think
like, yeah, so for us, it's if I hold on to the resentment
Yeah, and then this is the question after that, why would you want to heal the offender? Yeah, it's kinda like, why would I want to forgive my stepfather? You know what I mean? Like, for what?
Mhm.
To help him? I don't know if I would want to do that.
But
But
forgiving
forgiveness is
him,
supposed to be for
but
me.
forgiving him is not for him.
Yeah, it's supposed to be for me.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't yeah, I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure all this out. I'm about to put another call out to all my people who like to talk about religion because 'cause I'm not sure yet, but, yeah, today was a crazy day. There's a lot of forgive freely because it frees me,
Mm.
but does it really get rid of the anger, though?
It does. At least it did for me. So I have a family member that I used to be really, really close to. Um, and as I got older, I realized that this relationship wasn't going to work. It was very toxic. It was very abrasive. It was my way or the highway. There was a lot of, um, yeah, it just wasn't a very good relationship. I was growing up and becoming an adult, and this person didn't agree with that and wanted to still treat me like a child and, that kind of stuff. And so I had to have a forgiveness conversation with myself to be able to release all of the feelings that I had about this particular person. And what I can say for me is I never was going to have that conversation with that person because they were not going to be able to receive it in any other fashion than an attack. And it's like, that's not what it was going to be. It was simply just going to be a forgiveness conversation, like sitting down and whatever. But that conversation I was never going to be able to have that conversation with this person ever. Never.
Yeah.
So I had two options. I had the option of holding on to all of those feelings and all of that anger and hurt and frustration and sadness and all of those things, or I could have the conversation as if I was having the conversation with that person and be able to then turn around and walk away. Because the forgiveness was to let go of all of that so that this person didn't have that control over me anymore. They weren't in control of how I felt. They weren't in control of how I moved through my day and how I felt about myself. Like I started to take back my control, and I've done that with many people in my life. This person was one of them, and then the people that I experienced trauma with too. Same thing. Like you have those conversations so that you can start to get your control back, because right now with life and everything that we've been through, if we don't work through that and forgive that and release that, then we don't have control of our life. They still do.
Yeah, that I would say is fair.
They still do.
Yeah, okay, I would say
So
that.
so for me, I had the forgiveness conversation, but I had it with myself. I think I had it down at the beach actually. Like I literally sat at the beach the same way that you sit and you talk to God and you talk and you sit with him and you talk with him and whatever.
Yep.
For me, I was just talking like I was having a conversation, like that person was sitting in front of me and I was having a conversation with that person. And then after I said what I said and I cried and I yelled and I got everything out, after that, I was able to feel it slowly start to melt away from me. And I don't carry that burden anymore. And I don't feel that heaviness anymore. I mean, granted, I don't have relationships with any of these people and I don't have to see these people. You know what I mean? But like
Yeah.
I don't have that. So if I did just so happen to be back in my hometown and see these people, I'm not going to shrivel up and I'm not going to like hide within myself. I can stand tall and be like, you know what? I can,
Yeah.
hey,
No, that's fair.
and keep it and keep it moving without feeling like they have control over me anymore. I'm starting to have control over myself now.
Pretty again, and yes, we all need forgiveness. I think so too. Big and small mistakes. Yep. Hope can we hope to be forgiven if we refuse to do the same for others? No one said it was easy. Yeah, no, I get that. If I want to be forgiven, but like, yeah, right. And it isn't easy. And I love the conversation that you guys are having in the comments. Like I can see it. It's
Hey,
but
look at that. We're making change.
I forgive you, Jake.
We're making change.
Colleen is spot on. Yeah, I agree with her. I learned the exact same thing. Like, yeah, you can't let the people that hurt you, like hold your space or like they hold in your space, whatever the saying is. I forget. I don't know. It's new age.
Yeah, I mean, and I know I've talked about, bits and pieces of it or whatever, but the big eye opener for me was when my coach looked at me and said that I was the catalyst and the reason that my son was not able to regulate his own emotions because I couldn't.
Yeah.
I could not because every situation and every experience and traumatic and disappoint, like all of those things have led my life for as long as I can remember. And it wasn't until someone, I'm talking to her and I'm crying with her and I just don't understand. I don't understand why our son is struggling so much and has so many challenges and all these type of things and whatever. And
I'm not laughing at you. I'm
No,
laughing
I
at
know.
Ocole. I'm sorry.
I know Ocole
Stop.
came
Yeah, I
in
stopped.
spicy
Yeah,
today. It wasn't until she looked at me straight in the face and said, "Where does he get it from?" And I'm like, "Wait a minute. What are you saying? I hold my emotions very well. If you and I need to talk about something privately, like I can still walk around and take care of my day and do things with him and whatever." And she's like, "But he feels it. He
Yeah.
feels the energy and the anxiety and the all of those things. He feels all of that." And then once I got that slap in the face, I really was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I don't want to be triggered all the time. I don't want to be offended all the time. I don't want to feel angry all the time. I don't want to feel less than and unworthy and let me ruin my life. Let me do that because those were always feelings that I had too with the choices and the emotions that I would feel because anything, and we've been together for a long time, but there were those times that anything and everything that happened in a day could set me down a spiral like this.
Yeah.
And I'm emotional and I can't function and I can't get through the day and I can't do anything because I'm so fucking emotional.
But that's
with
the
all
thing.
that.
But that's the thing, though, right? So, like, somebody asked if you want to bring it.
Jake, I'm so glad you.
I had the same thing happen to me when my wife saw my son's giant penis. Yeah, he got it from somewhere. He sure did get it from somewhere.
I mean, technically, he's only half yours, so I mean,
yeah, right.
Do you know the men on your wife's side of the family?
But no, then I would just go back and say it's like I'm not like people who are saying like, hey, I'm trying to give too much grace here or whatever. Like, yeah, of course I'm trying to give grace. I want to give grace. But I also want to understand how people are having conversations now.
Yeah.
Like, how do you have like those were two different sides of the aisle, right? Like Rich and Brian, they're two different sides. How do they have a conversation? And like I was interested in that. Like how are they going to get their points across? And it was the tough, rough first start, but I hope that they both do it more. Like I hope Rich has more conversations like that with other people, and I hope Brian has more conversations that kind of like push him a little bit too. Like that would be cool.
Do you feel like I know the chat has said it a couple times, but do you feel like you're giving too much grace? Or what's your definition of too much grace?
I don't know. We're trying to figure out the definition of forgiveness. I'm not trying to figure out too much grace right now. Like really. I'm hoping to have some people on that will talk to me about that and tell me.
Or do you
we'll
believe
figure
that
it
there's
out.
a place for grace with accountability as well? Or are those not allowed to be in the same conversation? Bernie, Brock.
Yeah, anybody. Freaking John.
No, go back to Grace.
Go back to Grace.
Well, who
Okay.
do we have right here? Yeah. So can grace and accountability be at the same table?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
But I don't. Everybody's got their.
Hi, Seth.
Oh, hey, Seth. It also depends on who has the power.
We said his name 3 times
I know.
and he shows up. It's like Beetlejuice, right? Yeah.
Does it depend on who has the power though? Who has the we obviously we're talking about your situation, but we were talking about my situation and Colleen's situation too. Does it depend on who has the power? Like for grace and are you talking about for grace and forgiveness?
And when you say power, what do you mean?
Like I don't know. I'm trying to like we just had Easter. I'm trying to figure out you guys all know I've been trying to figure this out for a long time. I'm trying to understand it too. So, but I definitely think that grace and accountability can be in the same.
Wait, so then Kenneth, if women hold all the power, man.
No, they don't. Did you see the Shannon Sharp thing? It's over, bro. It's over. Women do not hold all the power. If you saw, they tried to throw my man Shannon Sharp. I know he's zesty. Don't yell at him like that. But like, it's what Bernie say his name 3 times. No, don't say his name, Bernie. Shush.
No, I was gonna ask Kenneth.
Oh, quiet time about that one.
I was gonna say, Kenneth, if women hold all the power, who do you think holds the power in this relationship?
It's not me. Yeah, Shannon Sharp got messed up, but he's fighting back, dude. He's got the receipts. Have you seen those? I
haven't.
Shannon
you
Sharp
just told me about this before. I haven't heard nothing.
Shannon Sharp released the.
I think we all know. That's right, Kenneth.
I hold no power at all.
Savon.
If you have all the power and you think somebody burned you or hurt you, then you have more lessons to learn. If you're talking specifically about does he have all the power though? I don't, or what you're talking about when he thought he did. I don't think he ever had all the power. I think you guys showed a lot of grace, and then he thought he had power, and he tried to exact that power, and y'all were like, nah.
Well, I mean, I could take that statement.
Same thing as the Shannon Sharp thing that's happening right now. Free my man, Shannon Sharp. Okay.
I could take that statement very much in what I was just explaining about having the forgiveness conversation by myself. That person, other people had power over me because I felt hurt, I felt burned, I felt all the things that I felt. And then I learned all those lessons and then was able to take my power back. So I could take that statement into
Jake,
that.
Shut up. We're not moaning. Nobody's moaning over here. But we're not moaning about anything at all. Zero moaning. Zero moaning, my man. Unless we're moaning and doing something else. No, okay. Moving on.
You have that button, but you don't know which
No,
one it
I don't
is.
know which. I don't know. There's no such thing as power. Power is only as strong as what others are willing to. Yeah, I think. I don't know. I'm confused. I'm trying to figure this shit out. I don't know. But is forgiveness the power? Like, if you forgive, then you take back the power, because that's what that means too. I don't know. I don't know. I enjoyed watching the conversation. I thought that it was a good start to people being able to have conversations. I hope they both do more, and I would like to, but no one wants to, so it's all good. But the devil's button, yeah, dude. Yeah. Yep. No moan zone. Yeah, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. What's up, Jet? Hey, dude, did you see the story in the paper about the
high school, right?
No, not that.
Oh.
The dude in the Hamptons that's like pushing a whole bunch of coke and MDMA. He was like an Uber driver. He did like
What?
yeah, it's crazy. We have a Hamptons dealer now. We've never had a Hamptons dealer. It's amazing.
Oh, this one. Honey.
Brian wasn't pushed out at all. I don't think he was. I don't think he was pushed out at all.
No, it wasn't pushed at all on the conversation.
Oh,
you talking about the
in the
conversation?
conversation? Yeah, no, I don't think he was either. No, I was hoping for something more than that too. That's I said before. Like I hope that they both do it again. I hope Rich does another one where he talks to another person that like from the WFP, and I hope that Brian goes on another show that will push him a little bit more. Like, yeah, I think so too. I definitely agree. And yeah, for sure.
This is very important, guys. Has anyone checked on Jeremy? How has he not called in yet? I don't even think he's in the chat. Can
Dude,
we just
he
all,
hasn't been here.
Can we all just check and make sure he's okay? Someone send him a message.
I feel like he blew his load when he came on Sevon's podcast with us. So that's it. He's gonna need
He's
another.
done. That's it.
He's gonna need some
He's made
Gatorade,
it. That's
some
it.
electrolytes, protein bar, and like to whatever.
Check out The Courage of Being Disliked. I'm not one for the cheesy. Oh, I am one for the cheesy self-help books though. So I will
But
definitely
this
check that
alters
one out.
one's perception of conflict.
Yep.
Okay.
I will definitely. Omar.
Sev, if you're being raped as a child is different than someone cheating on yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. No one's saying that. Someone cheating on you is yeah. I get it.
There you go.
And that's okay. Yeah, I get that.
There you go.
Brian had no power and there's nothing to forgive. Yeah.
Sure.
Hey, listen, I wasn't critiquing any of you guys.
Bless you.
I was just starting to talk about forgiveness and how that like comes together. I wasn't like whether you guys it's all whatever you guys want to do. I'm out there on that. I just, Jeremy and Patty L are golfing together. Both have been MIA. Oh shit! No, I saw Pat. Did I see? Oh, maybe you're right. That's fair.
What's up, Jason?
Yeah, dude, haven't seen you in a while.
You are crushing it.
Yeah.
I've been seeing.
I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, you don't need to know what's going on. It's probably good you don't know what's going on.
It's okay, Jason. I forgive you. There's a lot of forgiveness in this conversation. So
no, it's Easter. I'm having Easter feelings. So, but anyway.
Anything else, guys? This is a really good conversation.
Yeah, I like this conversation a lot. I always want to know because I'm trying to figure out how to do it too. I don't know how to forgive either. I'm trying to forgive. I'm trying to do all the things, and I don't know how to do it either. I'm trying to watch The Chosen. I've gotten through like 4 episodes, I think. I'm trying to catch up. But Sevon keeps giving us the recap. So, did Vance kill the Pope? No, but what Pope do you think we're gonna get? Like, we had a very non-traditional Pope for a while. You think we're gonna get the completely traditional Pope? You think that pendulum's gonna swing that way? Have I cried during no, but I've read the whole Bible, so I kind of know the stories, but like I'm just getting to kind of
Vindicate. It's good.
Watching it. Yeah, it is good.
Well, hello,
I
Matthew.
didn't even mean to click on that, but that's amazing. Fuck them, don't eat them. That's my forget.
P.S. Matthew, the comment that you made, I think on
you
Taylor
win. You win comment of the fucking day, bro.
Down.
Yeah,
that was so funny.
Comment. I'm not gonna repeat it here.
I was in the store with her, and I'm reading the comments and I'm dying or
Dude.
whatever. And I got down to your comment and I was like,
Tears.
I cannot read this out loud because the entire store was full of people.
I was waiting on people, like literally, and she's like, "You have to look at this." And so I looked at it, and then I just started fucking dying. But you win. You win comment of the day, bro. For real.
So good. So freaking good.
Did I cry in The Chosen? No, I didn't cry watching The Chosen, but my guy, I cry at a lot of things, but not any of the thing. Well, no, remember the 5 things that you said that men are allowed to cry at? I also agree with that. Those 5 things that you kind of came up with. And The Chosen is wasn't one of those. I didn't, but I read the book already. I know what happened. Like, I know what happens.
I did not. I haven't watched it.
Death Row, Timothy Dolan would be a gangster cardinal. He's not one of the short list for the Pope, though. Did I see his name? I didn't see his name. There's like
Can you explain what the tryouts would look like, Jonathan?
is there tryouts to be the Pope? Yeah, pretty much. You have to be a cardinal. They're gonna do the conclave of cardinals. Everybody's gonna fucking vote. You have to be under. I think you have to be under 80, right? Like you have to be under 80.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I started watching the conclave. Yeah, Meg. Yeah, Dolan is our. Yeah, I thought I saw there's like isn't there a Filipino cardinal that's on the short list to be the Pope? I feel like Mark Wahlberg for the Pope. That's amazing.
Brock, I tried. She said no.
What y'all should go to Syndicate Con. I can't,
tried.
bro.
I tried.
We're going to the games.
We're going to the games.
Yeah. I cried on Con Air when his daughter didn't take the bunny. Yes. Yes.
Did you cry too, honey?
Yes, I did. Yes. Greatest movie, most underrated movie of all time, Con Air. Nicolas Cage is the GOAT. Whoever can take the biggest bong rip. Oh crap. Bernie Gannon short list is the kiss of death. I don't know. I saw like there's a good old boy Italian that they kind of want. I think there's a black dude on there. I think he's is he African, Filipino, something. I don't know. I saw that. I'll have to find it. I saw it in the post the other day. Pinball. All right. Good shit. We're going to come out, hang out for a little while. Hopefully we'll be back. We're planning on coming back on the 7 podcast not this weekend, but next weekend with Ellie Hiller, so we can find out about she's about to pop. Her baby's about to be Ghana. Yeah. Thank you, Trish. Adults are here. Thank you, Trish. Travis, they should run an American Gladiator courses
in their roads.
Yeah, thank you, Sevon. Like and subscribe. But
thank you, Sev.
We'll be back on the Sevon podcast. Probably not this Sunday, but next Sunday to talk to Ellie Hiller. She's about to pop. She's glowing. She's working out. She looks amazing.
Putting everybody to shame.
She likes to talk about everything: the Pope, politics, lesbian shit. She's great.
Pope Idol.
Pope Idol. Yeah, Pope Idol.
Jet, when are you doing Murph? I haven't trained at all for that, but I mean,
I'll film it, but I'm not doing it. And then we'll be on this weekend. The baby's having his teeth pulled on Friday, so hopefully he'll be okay on Saturday or Sunday. We'll find out. Bernie, smartest man on the internet. Baptized Catholic is eligible for Pope. Any validly baptized Catholic is eligible for Pope. Can you imagine if we get Taylor Self for Pope? I'd vote. I'm good. Can I be in the conclave? Thank you. Thank you, Trish.
Thank you.
Thank you, Savon, for outing these ladies. Yeah, we appreciate you for outing us,
She
Savon.
meant pudding.
Oh, I liked
We
outing
know- we
better.
know what she
That
did
was
there.
amazing. That was amazing. You did it.
Why, Jan? What's wrong with Murph Prep?
Don't get.
Jake started on the Murph Prep.
Oh, geez. I'm not trying to get Jake started on anything. We already got him started in the group chat. We need to.
Which I did not.
Literally, Jake is pushed to start. Like, if you want to rev Jake up, he's just pushed to start. It doesn't take much. How come it's always Colleen doing workouts and you film? Because I'm lazy right now. Later. We'll talk about it later, Ken.
So I have set myself up in the worst possible way. So I found one meme that was hilarious that I thought would be funny to talk about on the next chat appreciation with Jan
God.
and Jake. And I said, babe, I'm going to send this to you because she already has the group
I was
chat
like,
with the
nope.
both of them.
Start
She's
your
like,
own.
no, you have to send it to them. So I sent it to them. And I have regretted it ever since.
No, she's loved it.
However,
Don't let her lie to you, Jake.
however, my algorithm has completely changed.
Yep.
So I have sent more than
Don't let her
one.
lie to you. She's loving every
I
minute
have
of
sent
the
more
group chat.
than one
Don't let her lie to you. Yep.
because Jan, my wife is.
I told her
mean,
to,
That's why.
And she every 5 seconds she's like, "Look what Jake sent me. Look what Jan sent. Look at the group."
That is not true.
It is true. Let's
That's
go.
not
Yes. Yep. Fire. She's in it. She's hog talk. Let's go.
Oh God, that sounds so bad. That sounds so bad.
All right, we're gonna get out of here. We love you guys. Thank you always.
This was great, guys.
This is
Thank
the
you.
Sevenista like 5-star lesbian group chat right now. Appreciate y'all. Y'all are the best. Except for Jason. I'm sorry, I want to include you in that if you don't want to be a 5-star lesbian, but everybody else pretty much knows. But love you guys. Thank you for hanging out. We'll see y'all later.
Bye, guys.
Deuces.